So welcome back to another software updating video. This time we're going to be updating the 2023 Hyundai Palisades 12.3 inch infotainment. And I've not touched on this too much here on the channel because, well, it's a brand new infotainment for 2022 and 2023 in the Ioniq 5, as well as the Hyundai Palisade. So let's not waste any time, show you guys how to update the system and see what changed. So I'm not going to show you the entire process because I do have other videos here on the channel that goes over that, but I've already loaded the USB drive with the October 2022 fall update, which is the most recent one for the Hyundai infotainment. Now, usually they release an update twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, with new POI map updates, as well as software and UI changes, if they do change anything for your infotainment. Now, like I said, twice a year, typically around the April or May timeframe. In the October-November timeframe, there will be a new update for your Hyundai vehicle. So let's not waste any more time, plug it into the Palisade and see what changes. Now, you might be curious about your Palisade because most of the USB ports are Type-C. However, the one data connection into the infotainment is a USB-A port, and that is the one located here in the center console next to the wireless charging pad. So don't confuse any of the other ones down below the center console or I guess behind the seats. The only one that has the data connection and used for the software update will be the USB-A port here in the center console. Now, one of the new features for 2023 is the fact that you can do over-the-air map updates for your software. Now, this does not update the UI or system software. This is just strictly a map update. And to do this, you do have to have an active BlueLink subscription. So if you go into Settings, General, you can see that over-the-air update is not available because this vehicle does not have an active or registered BlueLink account. Hopefully I can show you guys that on an active vehicle with a BlueLink subscription, but for now you can always do the update with the USB drive. The main thing you want to pay attention to is the icons and the names that they have, because sometimes they will get rid of an icon, rename an icon, or just kind of change them around. So you do want to just kind of take note of which icons you have on your system. Now, one thing I know for a fact that will likely change is this radio screen. Now, this debuted a few years ago via a software update for the Gen 5 infotainments and newer. And actually this got a lot of criticism that people did not like it, including from myself, because the icons are very hard to use. They're on the smaller side of things. You can see just how small the current radio station is and the song being played. Now, I do kind of like this design theme here with the channel and the neon tubes, but otherwise it is very hard to use, especially when you're moving down the road, trying to hit some of these smaller icons. Now, of course, in many vehicles, there are redundant settings and knobs down here to control it, which is very useful in addition to the on-screen buttons. This is one screen that will likely change after I do the software update. Just note that here in your Palisade that this will likely change. We'll go ahead and touch on the media screen really quick, go into the sounds of nature because I do believe they added several new sounds of nature. So there are the current pre-update sounds of nature, and those are the setup or settings that you have to change on the system. So let's go ahead and plug the update in, do it. It should take between 30 and 40 minutes or so. So we're gonna start this about 2:05, and I'll keep you guys updated on the progress. And what's nice with these newer Hyundai infotainments is you can actually see the update details and what will change exactly on your head unit before you proceed with the update. So you can see there's 6 bulleted items here that will change before proceeding with the update. So let's go ahead and start the update. Now, while the system updates, I do have to say that Hyundai's software process is very user-friendly to do at home. Some of the other manufacturers, such as Ford and Mazda that I've shown in other videos here on the channel, aren't quite as user-friendly to do at home in my opinion. Hyundai's software tool walks you through the entire process, including formatting the drive, downloading the update to your computer's hard drive, then transferring it over automatically to the USB or the SD card, again, depending on your vehicle. So I think this is all very user-friendly, very easy to do at home. So if you're kind of hesitant to do this process or want to have the dealer do it, I think this is something that is very DIY friendly and overall very hard to mess up. And after the software update has successfully completed, you can see you do have a barcode. You can scan there to see what's new or look at the details, and it'll go over exactly what has changed with this update. So you can see it just turned 3 o'clock. So unfortunately, this update did take over 50 minutes, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it has successfully completed without any issues. So you can see immediately there is a totally different radio screen like I showed you in the 2023 Tucson video I did a couple months ago. You do get album art with this update. The channel as well as the channel name is kind of front and center. The song and the artist information is down in the corner. Your play, pause, rewind is a little bit larger buttons. The seek buttons are larger, more in the center. And you see all of your presets here on the left side are much larger. And again, you can scroll through them once you add a few, and it will kind of scroll on the vertical aspect. So this is much different versus that of the kind of neon tube style. So if you do like that style, you will not want to update at least for a year or two until the system gets a little bit more dated. But I always like keeping my systems up to date, and I actually prefer this radio screen much better. So I think this is a win-win for most owners. But if you did like the neon style radio screen, this is a downfall of updating your system. Now, depending on the artist and the song information will depend on whether or not channel art shows up. Otherwise, it will kind of just be the default for the actual XM channel itself. As for some of these icons, really, I don't see any difference. You guys will have to let me know down in the comment section below if you guys notice anything different here. But once again, the sounds of nature will be changed as far as what is offered. So these are all going to be new. A new artist kind of performed and designed some of these sounds of nature. So if you've kind of gotten used to the ones that were on there before, there's going to be many new ones to pick from, which is nice. But as a whole, this process is very simple. Now you have an up-to-date maps and point of interest. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, have successfully updated your Hyundai infotainment, and found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button below. It greatly helps out these videos and the channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are not already subscribed. And again, if you want a detailed step-by-step process on how to load the USB stick with the Hyundai software tool, make sure to check out the video. I'll go ahead and put a card up in the corner. Check that video out as I go through a more detailed process of how to perform the update. Again, it will be done either USB or an SD card if you have a vehicle that is a few years old, from about 2015 through about 2019, 2020, depending on the model. Hyundai did use SD cards to perform the updates as well as house the maps. So if you do have an SD card for your vehicle, you'll go ahead and do that process very similar to the USB. However, you will have to leave the SD card inserted in the infotainment itself because that is where the maps are read from. If you do have a USB, you don't need to leave the USB installed. Once the system is updated, you can go ahead and remove the USB and use it for something else, or just go ahead and load music or other items on it if you would like. So hopefully you guys had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I'm looking forward to the new year here in just a few days. Crazy to think that 2023 is already upon us, but time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. But hopefully you guys enjoyed once again, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So you're interested in purchasing a new Palisade but don't know exactly which is the right trim for you. Well, today behind me I have 3 of the middle trim levels, some of the most popular ones in the lineup. So hopefully this video will help you narrow down your search and which is the right Palisade for you. I have a dedicated video on each of these trims here for the 2023 Palisade, so make sure to check that out if you're interested.